You see the roller coaster outside the Tokyo Dome. We're in for one heck of a ride on the final day of baseball in Pool B at the 2023 World Baseball Classic. The darlings of this pool, the Czech Republic, in this tournament for the first time in the country's history. And they will hand the ball to the hero who helped get them here in the qualifiers in Regensburg, Germany last September, Martin Schneider. He will face this Australian lineup, the same starting lineup Dave Nilsson has trotted out in every single game.
He has told us, he has talked to his team, they circle this day down to 30 hours and say, guys, it's going to be all in front of us, we're going to get it done. But loyalty, as you mentioned, Steven plays big to trust his players to go out there and finally make it out of the first round.
Martin Schneider, 37 years old, just turned 37 earlier this month. 19 seasons pitched in Extraliga. A two-way player for a long time, a pitcher and a shortstop. 11-time Extraliga champion. Now he's just a pitcher. He has turned over the shortstop reins to Wojtek Menchik. What's he working with, Jose?
He needs to go out there, just grip it and let it go. He got into a little bit of trouble first appearance out on the mound by just being too fine. He does not have a lot of velocity, but it doesn't matter. He has had enough success. Remember that. And then against Australia, they have some boppers. They love the drama. They have a lot of pop up and down. Go out there and limit the traffic on the bases, especially as the innings progress.
Pavel Hadim, just like Dave Nilsson, riding with the horses who helped bring him to this point. Around the horn from first to third, Mujic, Sogard, Menchik, and Smola. Escala, Chlup, and Menchik from left to right, the outfield. And the backbone of this team, the backstop, Martin Cervenka, the captain Petrozima, the designated hitter.
I am excited to see, once again, the development of this young player in center field. We have seen a display of highlights covering ground. Marek Chlup.
He readies for his starter to throw the first pitch of the game. Martin Schneider, he's a firefighter. Tim Kennelly, an ABL GOAT and a firefighter himself. He takes strike one. Jose, you talked about this potential at the very beginning of the tournament. Hey, if Martin Schneider faces Tim Kennelly, we'll have two firefighters facing off. Well, here it is with everything on the line for these two countries.
It's exciting, man. You consider that their experiences off the field just means so much more than what's happening right now. But overall, now we're talking about representing your countries and trying to get them where they have not gone before.
Strike two, swinging. And it's not just that it's firefighter and firefighter. These are two of the most accomplished baseball players in their respective countries. Schneider, former shortstop, as he's called, still has that shortstop look. He delivers the 1-2. Nelly, a little tapper. Schneider going to field his position, as you know he can. And there is one away.
As easy as step and throw. That's one of the biggest tests in games of this magnitude is keep under control. He made a very good pitch now. Step and throw. That's what a shortstop does. Slow everything down.
Been a part of the national team for a long, long time. Alex Hall on the first pitch that he sees. He's gone deep again for Team Australia.
Long swing, Steven. They have the plays rocking already. And I think out of loyalty that we talk about, confidence that we talk about, and consistency with this lineup just provides a guy a chance to have a clear mind as to what's at stake, but mainly the boppers show up early here for the Aussies.
407 feet for the Helms Award winner, the most valuable player in ABL, who had been eerily quiet for a long time in this World Baseball Classic tournament until he hit a home run to right field in the game last night against Japan.
He has a beautiful path to the baseball. Short, quick, great lift. If you look at the backside cleared, open up the hips, and his hands staying through the baseball, that's why you saw that type of carry. And against Japan, not against anybody, against the top pitching.
So forget the cold start. He's 2 for his last 2 with 2 bombs. Only 1 pitch in between those 2 home runs, by the way.
That's Shohei Ohtani territory right there.
Glendening with a high fly ball left center. On the warning track is Scala.
Games this big, and considering what's at stake here for Team Australia and trying to finally get over a first round. Steven, scoring first, believe me, it changes the attitude and the mentality right away.
The attitude and mentality, the emotion of this club has been good for a while. Dave Nilsson was really happy with his clubhouse. Their preparation are coming off the ABL season. It's very different. These 2 teams, the contrast in global baseball. The ABL season is from November to February, so they're coming in hot. The Czechs, that's winter. You're not playing baseball outside. Maybe taking some cuts inside. But this is their spring training time right now.
All they're doing is staying in the labor force, working, and then playing baseball.
Daryl George, like Hall, has a Helms Award in his trophy case. He takes strike 1.
Daryl George was sharing with me yesterday about his mom. He goes, she was born in such a remote area that we needed to take boats for hours just to get there.
Popped up on the infield. Smola calls everybody off for the 3rd out of the 1st inning. But Alex Hall, with 1 swing, brought the noise for the Aussies and a 1-0 lead. '23-year-old ABL MVP Alex Hall in the Brewers organization. He got called up to Milwaukee last June, an emergency call-up after a positive COVID test. Didn't appear in a game, but he got to celebrate a win. And he said the spread was really good. Well, his swing in the top of this 1st inning, really, really good. Solo home run, putting the Aussies up 1-0. The Czech Republic, with this lineup, will try to respond in the same starting lineup that we've seen a few times so far for Pavel Kadim. Menchik, Sogard, and Pluk leading off. First pitch of the game, a flare into right field. Canelli! Did you? The co-captain runs it down for a spectacular 1st out.
Did a great job just reading that swing, but that won't carry it a whole lot because of the spin. Watch how well he tracks it down, taking the right angle and covering a ton of ground to his right. They have shown up in every phase here through only 4 outs. Frustrating.
1 pitch, 1 out for Jack O'Loughlin.
That's what you call them, D?
Go.
He is.
He hates it, but the people are saying, Tim, and we're saying it with him. It's ball 2 inside. O'Loughlin, the left-hander. He started the very first game against Korea. 2 innings. Shutout baseball. Kicking off that upset of Team Korea.
Needs a quick feel to the slider, which is a key pitch, but also, on what we saw earlier, he has to own one side of the plate. You own one side of the plate, guys have to respect it, and before you know it, then the slider will play a little bit better both in and out on the right-handed batters.
The 23-year-old tomorrow strikes out Sogard. Wants an early birthday present. An Australian win and some history. Defensive alignment behind O'Loughlin. He's playing pitch and catch with Robbie Perkins behind the plate. Wingrove, Glendenning, Wade, and George in the infield. Kennelly, Whitefield, and Boyarsky from right to left in the outfield. 92 fouled back by Marek Kluk.
O'Loughlin has been an anchor for Team Australia and many other, going back to his youth days, representing his team internationally. And here he is on the biggest stage of his career.
Breaking ball for strike two. The 24-year-old five-tool sensation, Marek Kluk. Trying to use this World Baseball Classic tournament to propel him toward his Major League Baseball dreams.
You think they know a thing or two about Luke chasing that high fastball? When velocity doesn't matter, you still go out there and exploit it. Watch Perkins.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Giant Game Jack. We're through one. The Aussies up one.
The fifth batter for Team Australia, center fielder number 2.
Two players in the middle of your screen. Alex Hall sitting down and Jack O'Loughlin standing up, talking with Perkins. They're the story of the first inning. Hall's home run, O'Loughlin with 2 strikeouts, and this, the 2013 U13 World Cup.
Go figure.
I mean,
10 years later. Would you please give me an early run?
how special. How special. With a win over the Czech Republic, Australia moves on to the quarterfinals at the World Baseball Classic, something they've never done. They have the early 1-0 lead. Aaron Whitefield kicks off the top of the second. Schneider quickly ahead 0-2.
Gives a different look to his breaking ball right there in the upper part of the strike zone.
Ball one down.
Having the ability to take something off of it, as we've seen Schneider do consistently in this short time, is something that as a two-way player, it takes a lot of practice, but also confidence in that pitch. You mentioned, Steven, he's been around a long time as a two-way player and one of the big faces for baseball in the Czech Republic.
So going into the qualifiers in Germany last year, where Spain was the heavy favorite, Schneider had only pitched 19 innings during the season. The 2-2 driven by Whitefield to center field. Hoop will rise and make the catch.
As advertised, I mean, he has put on the best display in this pool in center field, considering where he was shaded towards left center field. Great read on the line, great lead on the slice, and then timely dive by a tremendous athlete that continues to get better right in front of us.
Another challenge met by Kluk. It's not just the thunder in his bat, it's how he mans center field. Rickson Wingrove, the first baseman. strike one.
You talk about manning center field. It takes me to our conversation with Hadim, the manager, and saying, we shift more in the outfield, and there's no outfield that we've seen in this tournament that moves more or shades their center fielder more than them. And he called it an umbrella pattern. I'm like, okay, explain. So consider an umbrella in the curvature. We'll use a dot left side in left field, but our center field is the anchor. We move the umbrella, we move him. And boy, it's paid off nicely by saving a few runs.
Schneider trying to put away Wingrove. Wingrove put the ball high in the air. Center field. Kloop. The second catch of the second inning. So for Schneider, he'd only thrown 19 innings during the season. So in that tournament, he was just supposed to come out of the bullpen as a relief pitcher. But with everything on the line, manager Pavel Hadim turned to his Schneidi. Said, can you start? And Schneider responded to his manager, you know me, Pavel. I'm willing to die out there tomorrow, so it's up to you. It's your decision. Gave him the ball and started the game. That meant history for the Czech Republic, punching its first ticket to the World Baseball Classic.
Against a team that has scored 21 runs against them, had hammered them 21-7. Team Spain.
7 1/3. Gave her just 1 run, struck out 5. He's behind 2-0. Facing the Australian shortstop Logan Wade. The switch hitting 31-year-old of the Brisbane Bandits. Of a few Australians to spend time in the Minnesota Twins organization. Aaron Whitefield, Van Steensel. And Wade, who's now taken strike 2. Two line in the glove of Mujik. Little bunny hop. 1, 2, 3. Schneider gets through the Australian order in the middle of the second. And some of the history of baseball in Australia. First arrived back in the 1850s along with American gold miners. The Australian Baseball League originally commenced starting in 1989, but when the league was near financial collapse in 1999, Dave Nilsson purchased the rights and helped save Australian baseball. You have the International Baseball League, and now you have the modern-day ABL. Nilsson, the manager of the national team, the greatest figure in the sport in that country. You see their World Baseball Classic history. Jose, they have played in every installment of this tournament, but they have never done something that they can do today.
Here's the scenario. Yeah, very easy. You go out there and win. You advance to the quarterfinals. Take care of business. I think overall, it is a team that, you know, as he mentioned to us earlier in the tournament, Nilsson knows, he goes, they all know what the history is. They know the past. I don't want to keep bringing that up. What I know is that we have something in front of us with a very special group of native guys that I believe in. And he believes the time is now.
Oh, he is immensely proud of this national team because he says it's a true national team. Nate is born and bred. Ground ball from Cervenka to Wade at short. For the first out. The second, Wingrove applies the tag. The throw brought him up the line a little bit.
I like how O'Loughlin so far has been attacking the zone down mainly and understanding that at times, yeah, go out there and change eye levels and follow your leader in Perkins. In defense, it's going to be used. Off-season needs to be used, but I think the pace has also been important.
Right fielder Maciej Menchik now up for the Czech Republic. Strike one from O'Loughlin. Called him Giant Game Jack after his first inning, but we told you his nickname back home in Australia, the Drought Breaker. Did he go? Field down to first, and Delphine Cologne says no, 1-1.
How fitting, isn't it?
So again, he's 22 years old, and he's already got this epic nickname, the Drought Breaker. So how did that happen? Well, for South Australia at the U16 National Championships, helped them win, ended a 33-year drought. There's strike two. Then U18 South Australia in the National Championships ended a 38-year drought. Cut to his days in the ABL, South Australia, Adelaide Giants, playing for the Claxton Shield. Did not go, 2 balls, 2 strikes. He started game 3, the decisive win in a best-of-3 series. The Giants won and ended a 43-year drought. Now this the 5th World Baseball Classic for Team Australia. Never been to the quarterfinals. Another drought can be ended today by this left-hander.
Things to keep in mind with him is the fact that he only threw 2 innings. His first time out, 21 pitch against Korea. And it was all part of the plan to get him ready for this start.
And he strikes out Menchik, his 3rd punch out.
In that outing against Korea, 21 pitches once again. Great job behind the plate. Set him up and finish him out by tying him up.
Now the Czech Republic's RBI leader. He's got 4 in this tournament. Martin Mužík had 3 on the go-ahead game-winning home run in the top of the 9th inning in the Czechs' first ever game. Coming back to beat China in a thriller.
Last couple of games, Mužík has been missing pitches, just like that one. Maybe even chasing out of the zone too often.
First home run, first game, first win in Czech Republic's World Baseball Classic history. The 1-2. Little flare into the glove of Wingrove. 6 up, 6 down against Jack O'Loughlin. Martin Schneider back out for the 3rd inning for the Czech Republic. Trails Australia 1-0. This is how he was preparing in his backyard back home, or making the trip to the World Baseball Classic.
Looks like he's throwing a softball. Look at that thing exploding.
In wintertime, there's nothing glamorous about that facility in the backyard, but these Czech players, they don't get paid in Extraliga. They have their day jobs on the side, or their day jobs. Baseball is what's on the side. There's pitch liner right to Smollett at 3rd base. So they're using vacation time, having to juggle family time to play baseball in Extraliga. So, do you love the game? The easy answer is yes, to a player in that dugout.
And another angle is, think about the families that he has already helped in their home because of his job as a firefighter. They have become fans of his and fans of his team because of that, and are watching this game. So he's not just the ball player. He's the guy that came to our house to help us when we needed help.
And he has to work 24 hours to get 48 hours of off time. So he's missing games, right? Because he's got to work. Another liner, just foul from Bojarski.
I love the fact that he takes what I would think it is his shortstop glove out there. There's a time when pitchers that would have that many holes showing the baseball. You know that.
But it looks good.
It's my glove.
Ball 2 outside. Pavel Kadim.
There it is. That crisscross pattern. You don't see pitchers use gloves like this. For fear of grips, baseball.
Bojarski in front of that long and high strike, way foul. But Pavel Kadim didn't want to offend any other Czech-born pitchers. He's probably the best pitcher in the history of our country. If there is a game on the line, Schneider is our $1 million man.
That weighs heavy, man.
The 2-2 to Bojarski. Pop back.
I think in games like this, in a scenario like this, Steven, we can get so caught up in stuff and the best stuff, the guy with the best stuff. But how about the guy with the best heart for this? You talk about wins in extra liga. That's where he stands at 73.
And that's, again, missing at least a game a week. Bojarski rolls over to Smola. He's hustling down the line. The stretch from Mujik at first helps secure the second out.
Their pitching coach, John Hussey, has told us, I wish I had more time to work just bullpens with guys. Well, bullpens will lead to location, spin in the baseball, better feel for it, for these types of plays to happen behind you. And throwing the bullpen is not just let's go out there and see how hard you can throw, but it's about spotting the baseball and then telling a pitcher, in this spot here, if you miss, it's going to be a ground ball. Here might be a strikeout. Stay away from this area here. And Hussey is one of the great communicators on that staff.
Hussey also an Aussie.
Believe it.
You saw him in the gray check jacket, the pitching coach. Second from the bottom left. Kennelly with the hot shot foul. So I was like, hey, how weird is tomorrow going to be? Very. This was yesterday we were talking. Hussey has pitched for his country. He says Czech Republic is home now, and being the competitor that I am, I know my home country's history in this tournament, but I don't hope they advance.
Well, he's like, these are my guys that I work with for this.
Breaking ball for strike 2. Hussey and Liam Hendricks actually teammates back in the day for an Australian national team qualifying tournament. Now in the Czech dugout, hoping his starter can retire Tim Kennelly. That's outside. Now Kennelly hit a solo home run early in the tournament. Hall has 2 in the hole. Glendenning has 2. No team has hit more in this World Baseball Classic than Australia after Hall's first inning blast here today. They got 6. Strike 3, swinging. Schneider letting them hear him back home in the Czech Republic. They're still chasing a run. The Australian Baseball League, the ABL. It's a top-tier league. First season of the new ABL. The current iteration was back in 2010, 2011. Again, it goes across the new year, starting in November, going to February. The league's got 8 teams. Got 4 titles apiece for the Heat and Perth and the Bandits of Brisbane. 40-game schedule. So they're coming off that, trying to ride that work and momentum through the first round of the World Baseball Classic for the first time.
And in that league, talking to players that have experienced it, long travel compared to the leagues playing around the same time. A lot of time in airplanes.
Escala, bouncer to Menchik, or rather to Wade. 1 down. So Schneider, after giving up the solo home run to Hall in the first inning, has retired 8 in a row. This is the 8th batter of the game for the Czech Republic. Jack O'Loughlin has retired the first 7. Team captain Petržima came out of retirement to rejoin the Czech national team once Pavel Hadim was named the manager. He's been playing for him since he was about 16 years old. I think he's happy with that decision to come back, Jose.
Oh my goodness. You do not want to be in the outside looking in a situation like this when you had a choice to do it and be a part of it. Too much pride with that flag and those colors.
Tried to check up on the 2-1. It's fouled back. The count level. An investment broker, financial market analyst. When he's not playing baseball. The 2-2 pitch jammed him, but he forced it out there in the right field for a 1-out base hit.
Anytime I see a guy hitting in the bottom of the lineup that's able to actually work a count and get a pitch and handle a pitch well, goes back to paying attention to what those pitches are doing, the pattern being set by the guy on the mound. Trying to use both sides of the plate, but mainly down. So you look down, and from there you adjust your swing. Nice job staying inside of it. Goes back to the old George Brett saying, good hitters will break a lot of bats.
Smola 3 for 9, the hard-hitting third baseman. Watches a strike 1. Been a handful of years playing in the United States. IMG Academy down in Florida. He went on to play 2 campaigns at the University of Charleston. Breaker in there, 0-2.
So we have a tall frame on the mound in O'Loughlin, and then we'll look where he works from. That creates all that diagonal path of the baseball, and he can hit the outside half by not having to aim that way, but he can start a fastball middle of the plate, and from that angle have it run to the corner. If he starts it in the outer half, it'll run off and maybe get him some swings and misses, but then if he pitches inside, it's a lot tougher to pick up that fastball in the slider coming from where he's throwing from.
2 0s. With the 0-2 spoiled by Smola. O'Loughlin signed by the Detroit Tigers in 2016. He and Warwick Soppold, a couple of members of the Tigers organization, in addition to their work in the ABL. League in which O'Loughlin first debuted at the age of 16. .6'5", 225. Buries the 0-2.
That's a good 0-2. See if he's going to see the youngster Smola open up the zone. Because he also has to be aware of that sinker coming in.
Jima on first.
Can't do that in the big leagues anymore.
No. Not playing under the new rules this 2023 World Baseball Classic. New rules for Major League Baseball. Going back to the 2022 rule book and base sizes. Blocked by Perkins.
For a guy like home plate umpire Ramon de Jesus coming from spring training, it's like, okay, reset. Let's go back to the way it used to be. You're not having the buzzer, not watching a clock. All part of the adjustment.
Smola, ground ball to first base, foul.
And here they are. Provisions according to 2022. Pitcher use limitations apply. 3-batter minimum enforced. Mound visit rule not adopted. Obviously, the DH as part of it will not implemented as a pitch timer. The larger bases or the defensive shift restrictions, which really have not been a case here. Only one shift I've seen here in this pool.
2-2 soft liner to Glendening. Jima will dive back to first base.
Ramon de Jesus, by the way, Steven, my countryman, Dominicano. And also a byproduct of the Manny Mota Little League in Santo Domingo. There he is. Very proud of him.
Bottom left pool C update. Mexico 7. The United States 1.
Who's a hero so far?
Joey Meneses.
Does he have power or what?
He's shown it twice. 2-run home run and a 3-run blast as well.
That place in Phoenix must be rocking.
And after 38 pitches, Dave Nilsson will relieve the drop breaker, who exits with a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the third.
Substitution for Team Australia. Pitcher number 22, Mitch Newell.
We're back at the bottom of the third. Australia leading the Czech Republic 1-0. And Jack O'Loughlin, after just 38 pitches, 26 for strikes. I mean, the one hit we just saw from Petr Jima was not hard hit. He struck out 3 and walked anybody. And yet Dave Nilsson making a pitching change.
I'm surprised by it because I'm looking at what this game means, what he's done in the past. He knows this player is better than anybody, but I think this scenario presents itself where you have to kind of ride the wave, and there's not a lot of hard contact made against him. But he also told us first day, there's times when you'll see me pull somebody because I don't want a hitter to see him for a second time, and here it is.
Mitch Neuenborn was the bulk pitcher in the tournament opening win over Korea, 2 1/3 through 44 pitches, gave up 2 runs.
We have a pass ball situation here. It looked like the ball was going to hit the batter, Menchik, but here's how it gets away from Perkins.
Pitch wild. That's how it's scored. And Jima now in scoring position.
Steven, he really looked like he was crossed up. And the reaction by Perkins.
25-year-old right-hander. Nearly hits Menchik, who stares back at the Australian pitcher. That's 2. Been up and in.
It's twice. He's lost the spot there. The arm slot. There you go. You see that intensity. That's who they are. That's how they got here.
Let's see if it blocks Wojtek Menchik in. Neuenborn was off speed for strike 1. Neuenborn also a part of that Adelaide Giants club. Won the Claxton Shield. He was a Fans' Choice Award winner for the top reliever in ABL this past season. Struck out 40 in 28 innings
Well, he becomes the bulk guy here, and he needs to go out there and just be a little more economical on the way he's started. But they know what he's got. It's the power arm, offsetting the soft throwing lefty.
Ball 4 gets to the backstop. Jima at third.
This has not been a good start in terms of communication signs. Something is missing. Something is missing here between Perkins and Nieuwenborn. I mean, watch this here. In fact, it's dangerous. He's looking breaking ball all the way. And the previous wild pitch was with the men at first base, where I don't see where the signs, Steven, could have been much of a confusion point when you're not giving multiple signs with a man at first base.
It's pitching coach Jim Bennett along with the entire Australian infield. Going to sync up, get everybody on the same page.
That's a good visit. Let's slow things down. Guys, what's a sign? What are we using? Let's refresh that and make sure that it doesn't happen again.
First and third for the 11-year Major League veteran Eric Sogard in his Czech national team debut in this World Baseball Classic. He has come through. He's delivered some hits. Can he deliver a run? Right back up the middle for a base hit. Sogard ties the game as Jima comes home to score.
You got to believe in it. You have to ride the experience. And we see a little confusion on the mound with the guy on the mound and just not able to locate pitches, getting out of it. You know you got to see something good to hit. And that's where veteran experience pays off in moments like this.
So there were already questions about the decision to remove Jack O'Loughlin, and I get it. Going in, it was the mindset of the coaching staff, and I imagine this was communicated to the pitching staff. We don't want lineups to get second looks at you. Not third looks, second looks. But he looked really good.
Got to ride the wave. Have to ride the wave. And
two wild pitches allowed that soft base hit given up by O'Loughlin. Jima to go from first to third as Nieuwenborn and Perkins were all out of sorts. And then Sogard, with all of his experience, being leaned upon by Pavel Hadim, he comes through. 0-2 to Marek Hlup.
So Hlup did not look good against O'Loughlin. They're not getting on, catching up with fastballs up around the letter. So in this situation, you know you have to, first of all, protect. But you cannot be looking for the long ball. Let it happen. You think base hit here.
Hlup strikes out for the second time. It ends the third inning, but the Czechs have tied it 1-1 after 3. 2, 3, and 4 due up for Team Australia, led by the designated hitter, Alex Hall.
Tap and go. Short, sweet swing. I'll say it again, that is Shohei Ohtani territory up there. That's Murakami territory up there. Hideki Matsui territory up there.
Take strike one. The Czech Republic resets the game in the bottom of the third. Tying the game 1-1. If Australia wins, they go to the quarterfinals. If the Czech Republic wins, they have a chance, pending the results of the second game today. That's at 7 p.m. local time, Korea and China.
And that is all Korea is asking for. One more chance.
Korea started the tournament 0-2. Dropped a stunner to Australia in the opener, and then were blown out by Japan. Had the day off. Came out of it by beating the Czech Republic. Hall's home run streak will end at 2 ABs as he flies out to hoop.
Oh, come on. Still pretty good passes on the baseball. Now, let's get to the mound and the story of this man, Schneider, and what he's doing. He's playing catch. As any position player will tell you, play catch, fill the zone, and just keep it as simple as possible. Don't overthink it. And his manager, Hadim, says, let's ride him.
Second baseman Robbie Glendenning takes ball one, member of the Kansas City Royals organization. Action in the Czech bullpen.
The Royals, pay attention. This kid's for real, not only with the bat, but he's made some very good instinctive and athletic plays middle of the infield.
That's a great point. It's not just the 2 home runs. He's hit 2 long home runs. I mean, he went up to center field 441. I think the only player we've seen go there was Shohei Ohtani, and that was in BP. Bounces foul.
Everything is Shohei. Let's go to Thursday. On low. Love the 2-hand finish. Little extra carry there.
Inflatable kangaroo.
And there's the one you're talking about. Ay, 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 ay.
Well said, Jose Mota. I love that. And after Hall's first inning home run, it's the 6th of the tournament for Australia as a team. And Sheik on the soft liner tails into his glove for the second out. After Hall's home run, 6th of the tournament for Australia, that paces all countries in all pools so far. I think Wojtek Menchik maybe getting some ribbing from his predecessor at short, and Schneider. I don't think you needed to jump, bro.
You're right. Hey, time it. Don't jump too early.
Let's go Georgie for Daryl George. Sends the first pitch to right. And Menchik read it the whole way. Always smiling, that Daryl George. Tie game. The first game on the last day for Pool B at the 2023 World Baseball Classic. 3 teams vying for the second spot in the quarterfinals. Australia and the Czech Republic. 2 of those teams, along with Korea, they are playing right now in a tie game, 1-1. In the bottom of the 4th inning.
For this to happen, this man needs to come through. with the bat.
He's had some better looks, some hard hits than that 1 in 12 line would indicate. But you're right. That one hit was a double, leading off an inning. He was stranded there, didn't come around to score. But this is the player widely regarded as the best Czech-born force.
Yeah, he's been a little off rhythm. You can see him chasing pitches like that. Mama Mujic.
Mitch Neuenborn continuing to work. He came out of the Australian bullpen in the last inning, relieving Jack O'Loughlin, the starter, who had looked terrific. And so the decision will be questioned for a long time if this game does not get back on track for the Australians. If they don't ultimately win.
No need to even throw him a strike right here.
He does. He got away with it.
Cervenka created 2 strikes, put himself in the hole. Understandable, man. There's a lot of pressure here riding on a guy that he's supposed to be the guy with the experience. Trying just a little too hard sometimes. It's natural.
2-2. That experience in the minor leagues in the States for Cervenka, a decade worth. Got to AAA both in 2019 for the Orioles organization and 2021 for the Mets.
He knows that fastball is riding in high, tight. It's out of the zone, as he's seen already for Neuenborn.
Neuenborn strikes out Cervenka. It's back-to-back Ks for the righty.
When you're out of rhythm, balls look better than strikes sometimes because you're chasing and spraying in the zone. Then strikes are hittable, as he saw 2 the last 2 pitches. You're just not there.
First pitch fouled back by Maciej Menchik. Couple of doubles and a home run in this World Baseball Classic. Strike 2 on the top hitter in the Czech Extraliga. He's won that twice. Neuenborn exhales and fires the 1-2, tipped into the glove for strike 3.
Getting confidence after the strikeout to Cervenka. He found the zone and just, with his stuff, the way the fastball carries, yeah, it should be trusted a little bit more. Trying to be too fine with that kind of arm is not going to get you where you want to be, but I think he's finding it. It's clicking.
The 2021 ABL Co-Rookie of the Year. Signed a deal in the Frontier League with Quebec for 2023. It's independent ball, so he's going to go to Canada for spring training after the conclusion of the World Baseball Classic.
I'll tell you one thing, playing independent ball is no longer your way out of baseball. Playing independent ball will bring you back to organized baseball more often than not nowadays, and even back to the big leagues.
Marcin Mujic. We just showed a shot of his mother in the stands. He had her and a lot of Czech baseball fans here and back home in tears after his 9th inning home run against China. Spike the 2-2 and we're full. Mujic played at Division II Wake Tech, the second team All-American.
Let it fly here. That's it. This is where you go, hey, you know what? Forget about the 2 strikes. I want your best swing on a pitch that you can handle here. Guy like this, that type of power, you don't want him to cut back here. I guess it's hard throwing new and born.
We'll do another 3-2. Menchik driven to right field. Kennelly back at the wall. Kennelly again reaches up and makes his second highlight reel catch of the game.
You're not happy.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of World Baseball Classic, Inc. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. On the last day of pool play action for Pool B in the Tokyo Dome. And a little Sogard.
Open stance.
Yeah.
Get the hands through.
With the chin on the shoulder. Just like Pops. First pitch of the 5th inning lined into the glove of Smola off the bat of Whitefield. 1 away. It's a 1-1 game. An important game. The game. If Australia wins, it advances. It's easy for the Aussies. The Czechs, they too have a path forward. They have to win this game and then see how the Korea and China game shakes out. Australia, with a loss, still has a path forward, but then it's out of their hands.
Then it falls into a category where hitting a baseball, scoring runs, catching a ball, throwing a baseball just goes out.
Math. Pitch 52 from Schneider to Rickson Wingrove. Bounces it right to Sogard at second.
Schneider, talk about battling through. I mean, he threw 49 pitches his first time out where he just could not find the zone, and my scouting went to grip it and let it go. He's done very well with that. And limiting traffic by throwing strikes. All those strikes he's thrown has paid off. Even on hard contacts, he has found some gloves.
Pavel Hadim's $1 million pitcher, as he calls him. Not because he is paid that, because again, in Extraliga, they don't get paid anything. Maybe room and board for a foreign player coming over to play there.
That's right. I've talked to a lot of players that have played in Italy under the same circumstances in the league, you know, say go 10 years ago. I'm like, okay, you play 3 times a week, you practice the rest of the time, and they're getting paid, obviously. Says, I'm a tourist. In Italy, not a bad thing. And then get paid to play baseball with everything else paid for.
Strike 2. Wade, a cornerstone player for the Brisbane Bandits, won 4 straight Claxton Shields.
Dominant force. Solid players.
The 2-2 pitch grounded to second. Sogard has it and throws it to Mujik. Martin Schneider living up to the billing. Knotted up at 1. In the bottom of the 5th inning, Martin Schneider threw 5 full innings, up 1 run on the home run to Hall. Struck out 1, hasn't walked a batter.
He's being left alone.
Yep.
He's in his own little cocoon right now.
He's faced 1 through 7 in the Aussie order twice. Perkins and Boyarsky at 8 and 9, the only 2 that he hasn't seen a second time around. Contrasting experience to that of Jack O'Loughlin, the starter for Australia. He was only allowed to see the Czech order 1 time despite being really strong.
God, what a difference. Pace of a game when there's no many walks this year. 1 walk so far in this game combined. And for Schneider, 57 pitches through 5.
Only 4 of the 31 batters step up to the plate before this plate appearance for Willie Escala have reached. And so you credit the pitching. Some really strong defensive plays as well. 1 and 2. Escala grounds the ball right back to Newenborn. Underhand flip to Wingrove. It is a rainy, cold, and windy day in Tokyo, but those conditions don't affect us inside the Tokyo Dome.
So nice in here at 72, isn't it?
It's wonderful.
Consistent 72 degrees and a great vibe here among the fans.
Strike 1 to Jima, and not just the fans who have traveled to support their countries, like your new friend from Australia.
It's my hat. Still got to find the other one.
But also the local fans who have come not just to support Samurai Japan, but to just take in a baseball game in this World Baseball Classic. The world has waited 6 years for this tournament to return. 2 balls, 1 strike to Jima.
And all around, Stephen, there will be some stunners. There will be some surprises. Teams sneaking in. Look at Team Italy, where they started, where they finished. With Mike Piazza.
Strike 2. And it was Jima who had the first and only hit off Jack O'Loughlin. Pulled the hands in and fought one the other way to right field for a base hit off contact. He strikes out swinging, facing Newenborn here in the 5th. Came around to score, Jima did, after a couple wild pitches, and then a single from Eric Sogard.
Same swing, different result coming from the right-handed pitcher with that slider away. Now that ball's not running into you as it did before when he got the base hit from the left-hander. Changing those planes and disappearing. That's the best pitch he's thrown all afternoon, and it's gutsy. Outstanding pitch right there. Great feel for it. The outspeed.
Smoller respected it. He saw the head nod. Newborn's baseball journey will take him from the ABL. The season is concluded. The independent ball, talked about that. Him going to Quebec after this tournament. He gets Smollett a swing through strike 2.
Needless to say, we have a soft heart for baseball players and what they go through. And every time you hear a story about somebody moving on from here, but for a lot of them, this is going to be it for a long time.
1-2 foul back. That's an excellent point, Jose. I mean, and that's why this tournament, or events like it, means so much to the players, because you never know the next chance, if you'll have a next chance.
This is their big leagues. This is their playoff. This is the World Series.
Ramon de Jesus says Smollett did go. Back-to-back strikeouts for Newborn to end the 5th inning. He now has 5 as we finish the 5th. Australia, the Czech Republic, Japan, Korea, and China, the 5 teams in Pool B, which concludes today at the 2023 World Baseball Classic. You can see the wind whipping outside the Tokyo Dome. After getting their Instagram content, they'll come inside.
Yes. Which post looks better?
No filter, no filter.
And be even more excited because Japan has clinched that top seed.
Australia can join Japan in the quarterfinals with a win over the Czech Republic today. Czechs obviously hoping they can take that 2nd spot if they beat the Aussies and get some mathematical help in the nightcap between Korea and China. They got a shot.
And on their way here, Italy in Cuba.
Schneider to Perkins, popped him up, and Sheik waves everybody off. 1 down. Martin Schneider's now thrown 60 pitches, the limit in round 1 for a single game. 65. You can go over that to finish in AB. But Pavel Hadim, he says this is their guy, and he is letting their guy go.
The way it should be in a game like this. I remember the first game when we spoke with Hadim. Game 1, who do you want? He goes, I want velocity. That went out the door today. It was about experience and stuff and the gut to go out there and get it done on somebody who's done it before for them in a big stage.
A former 2-way star has relinquished his shortstop and hitting duties to now focus on pitching. He's pitching to Boyarski. Pretty good pitch. Did not get the call.
It's my favorite pitch, a front door breaking ball. Now,
That's right.
don't miss it on this guy again. They've seen enough of that by now.
Boyarski does not have a home run in this tournament. But if you make a mistake, make no mistake, he can.
Let him swing, of course.
Strike 1. Boyarski is it for Schneider.
Talk about that front door breaking ball. Has been so effective all throughout this pool from every team pretty much. When you see it this way, you do. You stop. Now you anticipate that ball spinning into that inner third. You just missed it.
The 3-2 to Boyarski. Pulled foul into the empty Excite seats at the Tokyo Dome. Australians have their rally kangaroo ready at the top of the 6th inning.
can't go too good here. Open the zone up.
Snyder says a word I can't say on television. He couldn't get Boyarsky with his 67th pitch.
Remember, he threw 49 pitches, which is the reason why he's able to make this appearance today.
Yeah, that was in the middle of an AB, because once you hit 50, it means you're required to rest for 4. Pulled him out to save him for this game. And that's ball 4 to Boyarsky. A 1-out walk for Australia. And Pavel Hadim will have to go out and relieve his starting pitcher, who put up one tremendous effort.
Yes, he did. This pitch, this last pitch, this walk, I really don't mind it.
Oh.
Wow. That's class.
Nothing to be said. Five and a third for Martin Schneider. 68 pitches, 1 run on the 1 hit. It was a home run in the first inning. And the last batter he faced against Boyarsky, that walk was the first 3-ball count. But this, the ultimate from his manager, Pavel Hadim.
I can't add any more to that. Or I'll mess it up.
Just the latest scene that reinforces why this World Baseball Classic is so darn special. Marek Minajic, the big 6'7" right-hander, known as the Czech Shohei Ohtani, will come in with a runner on first. And the top of the order due up for Australia. Strike 1 to Kennelly. In the bottom half of this inning, the top of the Czech order is due up as the lefty McGrath warms. Kennelly 0 for 2, but 2 for 2 with sensational grabs in right field. Brothers Matt, Sam, and Josh all play. His father, 16 years on the Australian PGA Tour. Grew up a Barry Bonds fan growing up. Pops up the 2-1, foul territory. Who has it? Who has it? Smola! Right on the World Baseball Classic logo, but heads up base running by Boyarsky, who was tagging on the play. I think Smola was waiting for Chervenka.
That's how meaningful this is. Chervenka obviously could not see the ball at the very end. He almost gets past it, but boy, athleticism pays off at the very end too. He's with the base runner at first base smartly enough. Know somebody on the ground and you got to move on. The game continues. Great plays on both ends.
So Boyarsky in scoring position for Hall. And Minajic going to check back on first, just in case Boyarsky didn't tag legally. But he's fine.
Exactly the guy you want right here at home plate. If you look at the catch, and obviously the conditions here are so tough The best thing that Szczerbenka did, actually, is to not confuse him anymore with a big body coming at him. That was a good decision by Szczerbenka, staying out of the way.
This is the first AB with runners in scoring position for Australia. 1-1 after the swing and miss. He did not miss. The first pitch he saw today. Going 400 plus to right field. Give the Aussies a 1-0 lead. Czechs have since tied it. But Hall can break that tie here with 2 out. Minajic 1-1. Fooled him.
That's pulling the string consistently. With a big frame, you see somebody coming at you from that angle. You're thinking power all the way, but no. Nice fading action away from the power zone.
Called strike 3 inside. Minajic comes out of the bullpen, strands a runner, and keeps this game tied. Australia and the Czech Republic even at 1 apiece. Top of the order for the Czechs in the bottom of the 6th inning. A reminder of the scenarios here in Pool B. Just 1 spot left. Japan clinched, going 4-0 in pool play. If Australia wins, it's simplified. They're the number 2 team, and they will play Cuba in the quarterfinals. Japan has Italy. But the Czech Republic, if they were to win, they stay alive, and then everyone has to wait to see what happens tonight between Korea and China.
Here we are, last day of pool play. Daniel McGrath on the mound, but making every pitch count, every out count, every at bat count. It should be like this with this type of game.
Menchik telling Ramon De Jesus that got a piece of him. Ramon disagrees. Still 2 balls, no strikes. The wrap-up, Mitch Neuenborn, 2 1/3. Gave up 1 hit. It was the RBI single from Sogard. That run belonged to Olaquin. Neuenborn walked 1, struck out 5. As McGrath pours in strike 1, and Neuenborn topped out at 95.4 miles per hour.
He averaged 93.4. He found it quickly after a rough start.
McGrath, the left-hander who pitches for Peter Moylan of the Melbourne Aces. Graham Lloyd, part of that staff in Melbourne, also part of the staff for the national team here in this World Baseball Classic. Strike 3 called. Menchik can't believe it. There's the first out of the 6th.
5 pitches, all different from Daniel McGrath. Applaud the fact that he came in just with a plan and was able to execute it. At the very end, it came down to the outer half and some outstanding late movement on that fastball.
McGrath spent 7 seasons in the Boston Red Sox organization from 2013 to 2019. Got as high as AAA.
You see Sogard taking a look to the right side of the infield. He's a very good bunter.
Gave us a little peek at one there, but he took ball 2.
That's the idea.
To ground ball. Wingrove will take it himself. Marek Hlup, the center fielder. Reigning D2 national champion for the North Greenville Crusaders, and also the reigning Conference Carolinas Player of the Year. And based on his start 2023, he might back it up with another. He did leave during the season, so the Crusaders led by former big leaguer, former Oakland A teammate of Eric Sogard, Landon Powell. Obviously bummed to lose him, but they are supporting back in the United States. Swoop fouls back, strike 2.
He's been pitched to very tough all throughout the tournament. There's been no set pattern on him. The only one has been a glimpse as a high fastball. But we still haven't seen like the best swings from him on a consistent basis. Best swing he took is line drive left field, right field, and then the 101.9 he turned on
from Roki Sasaki.
From Sasaki.
He sees another 0-2. Missed the zone wide.
It's like he's the guy circled in the lineup saying, guys, this guy right here, best stuff against him.
Another foul ball. Mark Hloop lays one up to right field for a 2-out base hit. He gets a round of applause from you.
Yes, get him to 2 strikes and then allow him to shorten up. Boy, what a lift. They know what he means to this ball club, to this country in times like this. Oh my goodness, that's a clinic. That's where you're gonna serve me?
Aboard for Martin Chervenka. Martin Chervenka on the first pitch. A fly ball to Boyarsky in left field. He comes in for out number 3. Chervenka comes close to getting one again, but he can't do anything with it. They're through 6. On the left, that was 51-year-old Pavel Hadin, the manager of the Czech Republic. On the right, 53-year-old Dave Nilsson. On the right, a baseball legend. On the left, a leading neurologist. Both have the same opportunity on the final day of Pool B at the 2023 World Baseball Classic. That is an opportunity to advance to the quarterfinals. 3, 4, and 5 for Australia. Glendenning, George, and Whitefield. Australia just has 1 hit. Came all the way back in the first inning. A solo home run from Alex Hall made it 1-0. The Czechs tied it in the 3rd. Glendenning rips a base hit into left field to start the top of the 7th.
And before this, 19 out of the last 21 batters in this game had been retired. This kid out throughout the tournament has pretty great passes on the baseball. That's an adjusted, flatter swing.
And it was this man, Darryl George, who told me yesterday on the field, people talk about us like it's some surprise. We're Cinderella story. We're a really good team. All of us have been slept on in our pro careers. Well, he's a chance to wake the world up.
Hit the ball hard to deep right field last time up.
Won the Helms Award in 2021. edging out Delman Young for the MVP that season. Fights it to center, where Hoop is waiting.
Seems like the entire at-bat kind of sped up on him. By that I mean that he was looking for something in a certain area, but was uncertain on how to cover it. And if he was thinking fastball, he just dumped to the first fastball he saw.
There's 2 hits in the game now after Glendenning's single. Whitefield almost had one earlier. The defense has been strong. Strike 1 from Minajic.
And the K-zone has been filled all throughout the afternoon, which is great. That's where the pace of this game has gone the way it's gone.
Whitefield at 26. But just in his 9th year playing baseball competitively. Grew up in a huge softball playing family. And a Major League scout came up to him after watching Whitefield in a softball tournament down in Argentina and said, give this sport a try. Had to change everything about his game, obviously the throwing motion, but his swing as well. But one tool he's always had, has not had to change, the 2 legs that have speed to burn.
Got to get aggressive here with your secondary leads. I mean, you're thinking score on anything in the gap.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
At some point, you got to go to first base and look like you're a threat to run, even if you're not running. Got to expand after the pitch comes in.
Pulled foul.
So easy to read some guys nowadays at every level, where when they get the sign to run or they have a green light and decide to run, you can read it. Catchers can read it. Managers can read it. Bench coaches. And this is not the case here. I'm just talking about the secondary leaders premium right now.
Whitefield gets the 2-2 inside. Full count. Glendenning on first base, kind of signaling to Dave Nilsson to put the headsets on. It's thought that it hit Whitefield. The manager said, just stay on first base, focus up. He goes on the 3-2. It's ball 4.
Here it is. He's leaning. If he takes one pass, one beat, Steven, and throws over, most likely he picks him off, but it's not the case. And here they are in a premier, outstanding situation.
Menchik and Chervenka sync up with Minajic, the big righty, who will welcome the big lefty, Rickson Wingrove, 22-year-old slugger in the Philadelphia Phillies organization. There's a lot of Australian baseball fans excited about his baseball future. He's a Gulf Coast League All-Star in 2019, and then the pandemic hit, back to Australia. The country was in full lockdown and trying to get his baseball train chugging again here in the World Baseball Classic. He can hit it a mile. Minajic checks on Glendenning. Strike 2.
Playing right into that swing with the off speed. Again, go back to big frame, big arm. You think fastball. But you found a lot of deception here.
The Czech Shohei Ohtani Sets for his 0-2. Delivers, and it's strike 3.
And why get away from that path and that approach? He might have seen one strike the entire at bat. That's just good pitching. Give that one to Cervenka, Steven.
It'll be up to the 2017 ABL Championship Series MVP, Logan Wade.
Mental note, how was the last guy pitched to as a lefty? That's your mental note. What did I see from the on-deck circle? Stay back.
And Denning dancing on second base.
He should not be a distraction. If anything, you start a little close to the bag and then expand your secondary. But hitters don't want to see anybody dancing around the bag right now.
Not a lot of base runners. The Aussies have had 4 in the game, 2 this inning. On first and second now. 2-0 pitch to Wade. In for strike 1. Daniil Parishak loosening in the Czech Republic's bullpen. A look at Glendening. The pitch from Minajic. Wade turns on one to right field. Menchik watches it go off the wall. Glendening will come home to score. Whitefield will follow. Australia up 3-1.
As a hitter, there's so many times in which somebody's failure in front of you will dictate what you should go out and look for and try to execute when your turn comes up. And that's exactly what Logan Wade is able to do in driving that ball to deep right field against the wall, just paying attention to the game. Stay on the ball, stay back. No mistake, this got more of the play that the pitcher wanted to, but nonetheless, your actions, your body are ready for one thing, which is to execute and get your best path on the baseball, and he did.
Wade thought he got it. Now Robbie Perkins will try to add.
Well, they fight. They fight, they grind, and now your plan is, who are the arms I want to line up as this countdown begins here to get to the 9th inning? That's what the manager's thinking right now.
It was unsettling for a moment. Yeah, thumbs up, all smiles now, and for a moment the nerves go away. They'll be back quick because this game not over. Czech Republic, it won't go away. Minajic to try and put away Robbie Perkins. 1-2. By the way, it's now 10-2 Mexico over the United States in the 8th inning. Post pitch, call the ball. Strike three. Minajik shoos Perkins back to the Australian dugout. But it was Logan Wade who had the biggest swing in the seventh. A tie-breaking 2-run double. We are stretching in the Tokyo Dome.
The next batter for Czech Republic, right fielder Maciej Minchik.
Now a 3-1 lead for Australia. On the eve of the bottom of the seventh, the Aussies playing to advance. They do so with a win over the Czech Republic. The Czechs trying to stay alive and keep the dream in 2023 alive. There's still a game to be played before we can settle the quarterfinal schedule. Ground ball right back to the pitcher McGrath from Minchik. One down in the seventh. Korea and China, 7 p.m. local. So if the Czech Republic were to come back and win this game against the Aussies, Korea and China will ultimately decide the fate of Pool B.
Korea becomes a big fan of the Czech Republic right now.
These two nations can down a beverage or 10.
Well, they lead the way.
Meanwhile, in Pool C, the United States 1 run away from being terminated early. Again, once you're up 10 after 7 innings, at any point, the game is done. It's 11-2, Mexico on top at Chase Field. Joey Meneses with 2 home runs for Mexico. He's driven in 5. Mujik sent down on strikes as he swings through the second K for McGrath.
Stay away from the hitting zone, the nitro zone, by doing exactly this. See that front hit open. Keep turning the ball over. Good execution, good path towards home plate.
Smola tried to bunt for a hit. Instead, strike 1. Now strike 2. Escala talking to himself before ball 1. Mentioned McGrath is 7 years in the Red Sox organization, ending in 2019. Well, what happened? In 2020, he received an invitation to Major League Camp, but then the pandemic hit. Now 28 years old. His focus, the World Baseball Classic. And this 1-2, grounded to second base. Glendening to Wingrove, a 1-2-3-7 for McGrath, keeping the Aussies in front by 2.
The next batter for Team Australia, left fielder Ulrich Wojcicki.
A full and happy cheering section for Australia right now in the top of the 8th inning, with their boys leading the Czech Republic 3-1. If they win, they move on. Czechs figure to be heard from again, though. That's been the theme of this team. Small country, big dream.
6 outs for Dave Nielsen.
So Marek Minajic, big righty, continuing to work his job at this point. You got to keep the deficit at 2. He has 9-1-2 in front of him for the Australian order.
You talk about saving the best for last. This has been one of the best played ball games in this pool.
Yeah, it really has. It really has been. Minajic, in relaying the difficulties of trying to play baseball in the Czech Republic, it's very hard. He always buys equipment on eBay from the United States and has it shipped over. Bojarski walks. Leadoff batter aboard for the leadoff man, Tim Kennelly. Pavel Hadim making a pitching change, and Padishak will enter. Minajic, he closed out the decisive win over Spain in the qualifiers. Pitched in this decisive game at the World Baseball Classic. Pavel Hadim in the background, the manager of the Czech Republic, knows it can't get any further away from him. Down 3-1 in the 8th inning. Daniel Padishak, who pitched on Friday against China, and another one, just like Martin Schneider, who was removed at exactly 49 pitches before the rest restrictions kicked in at 50 to have his guys available.
Leave it to a neurologist to go out there and figure that out, right? I mean, he has pretty much had the formula down pat to a science on having guys available for you that you know are going to be badly needed in a game like today. He's got some power and he likes his velocity.
Padishak, just 22 years old. Currently a senior at Charleston Southern, hoping to be drafted. Kennelly's bunt into the Australian dugout. Now, Padishak, excuse me, hoping a good showing at this World Baseball Classic can help his chances in a longer professional baseball future. But Hadim views him as part of the future of the Czech national team. The European Championship set to be hosted in Czech later this summer. And Kennelly can't get the bunt down again. He's upset with himself. To the backstop. Boyarsky to second. Thought about third. He'll hold up there. So that picks up Kennelly.
There's your bunt. Now it becomes an RBI situation from one of the best hitters on your ball club. One that was yanked on a breaking ball and unable to be read early enough by Cervenka behind the plate.
Kennelly holds up. Count even. Three balls, two strikes. Payoff pitch coming to Kennelly. Foul back. Boyarsky on second, Hall on deck. Another 3-2. Kennelly, base hit into center field. Stop sign held up for Boyarsky.
That's a veteran for you. A veteran knowing that whatever happened the first two pitches, were you not able to do your job, what it called for? Now you just got to go out there and just clear the mind and know what's still in hand, which is the RBI situation, even though he doesn't get it. But for sure, this puts the Czech team in a very, very tough situation with a very dangerous hitter coming up. Little scouting. Flipping sliders.
At the corners for the 2022-23 Helms Award winner. Receives a strike from Padishak. One for three this afternoon. Solo home run. Opened the game up in the first inning.
The wave riding the offense right now is this is our time to put them away.
Tap foul, third base side. Stays 0-2.
They've done a very good job with men in scoring position.
And swinging the bats in general. I mean, taking the game against Japan staff aside, but everybody struggles with that staff.
They go down the list.
It was .349 the team batting average going into the game against Japan. .287 entering this one. It's 4 hits today, but they've had key ones when it counted. They're up 3-1. Close call and went the way of Hall.
See that Hall's not in a hurry at all. And with his patience, good eye. And where he stands in the batter's box, he can track pitches moving in every direction.
This is up.
pretty much you're thinking as a hitter, who's in trouble here? It's not me. With Padishak, we saw him going through 4 innings very efficiently with 49 pitches where everything was much cleaner with his shoulder leveled and direction.
Falling off here.
It's leaking.
The 3-2, ripped to right field, down the line into the corner. Hall, a hero again. Here comes Kennelly. There will be a play at the plate. He is safe.
It's a matter of having the right guy in the batter's box, somebody that, as I mentioned, was not in a hurry to make contact or get out of there. Battled some good pitches, able to save his best swing for that situation. And really paced by the walk and then the outstanding base running in the tricky slide by who else? There's the GOAT with some magic.
Since the 7th inning, 6 of 9 Aussie batters have reached base safely. Taking another look. Kennelly sliding in at home. The call from Ramon De Jesus was safe.
And instinctively, Cervenka, what he does, he gets the throw and just throws the glove back because that's what you anticipated. And your experience tells you this is what's going to happen. He's going to come right into this lane, but the lane changes. And as of right now, that's what we have.
Get him on the way down. Oh, it looked like he got his armpit.
This look, we can see where. Let's see.
Whoa! That last look at the replay center here on site at the Tokyo Dome, and they have access to other feeds, other cameras. Look at Kennelly's left armpit.
I think what you see moving is just when his arm moves. That's when you see the fabric move too. But you didn't see a reaction from Cervenka that looked all that upset. But here's where he got tricked. The swipe tag. And nobody in that lane.
So now you can officially mark it a 2-run triple for Alex Hall. Still nobody out for Australia. Was hunting insurance here in these last 2 innings. They found some.
You still looking for that dagger. Say it's over. Got to keep pushing.
Glendening puts it high in the air, right field, and it tails into the seats. He can get the ball in the air. And here, with Hall's speed on third base. Well, you talked about it during Hall's AB. Given what they're seeing from Padishak, you have to rush things right now.
At all.
Another one fouled back.
And I'll tell you what, I've been in situations where you see a pitcher scuffling with location mechanics in this big spot. The zone spreads. You as a hitter and the opposing team get into a hurry and start opening your zone. He gets back to the dugout saying, boy, did I get some help.
Glendening smacked into left center field. An RBI base hit makes it 6-1 Aussies.
I am telling you that there's so many times in which you cannot make the scenario bigger than it is, even though it is huge. And what you do is tell yourself, just allow the game to slow down. We have been here before. We know how we have failed. But really, the worst thing you can do is get out of your shell. That is just, again, a beautiful at-bat, beautiful piece of hitting and finish by Glendening.
Padishak, who was brilliant against China, could not match it against Australia. The lead for Australia now 5. Alex Hall just catching his breath. He had the 2 RBI triple and just came home to score. Australia now up 6-1, the Pool B standings. Japan locked up the top spot. Australia can join them in the quarterfinals, beating the Czech Republic here. Dave Nilsson, manager, who he is always living in the moment. He's not getting too far ahead of things right now, even though his team has thrown up a 3 spot here in the top of the 8th inning. They have another runner aboard and still nobody out.
Keep your eye on Kovala and that back foot when he throws over.
Strike 1 to Darryl George from the 19-year-old right-hander who's committed to Georgia Tech in the ACC in the United States. He's currently rated the #1 European prospect by Perfect Game. His first appearance in the World Baseball Classic. Suboptimal, but a big learning experience for the youngster. Fields his position. Ground ball from George. Goes to Sogart for 1, to Mujik for 2. That's a good start to a bounce back for the young Mikhail Kovala.
He needs it. I mean, he went off speed happy last time out. He just could not get into rhythm. But here, not only did he deliver a good pitch with a very dangerous hitter, but fields his position, stays under control, and throws strike to second base.
Kovala now, as the base is empty behind him, Aaron Whitefield in front of him. 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored.
It was fun to see and so emotional to watch Kovala come up out of the dugout on that Satorius start against Japan. One of the first guys, a youngster, saying, You made us all proud, man.
Yeah.
3 runs and all, but it was just that juxtaposition of youth and hope, big scenario, congratulating a veteran pitcher.
Kovala threw 25 pitches against China. Gave up the 4 runs. He entered with a 4-1 lead in the 7th.
He just didn't trust number 1 that day. It's a learning experience. That's what pitching coach John Hussey told us.
And the pickoff move you told us to watch out for just a couple moments ago, it was not clean, not good against China, and that didn't help his cause. But this international experience is only going to help this youngster thrive moving forward.
There's some talent.
91 down. He loses Whitefield to a bases empty 2-out walk.
The next batter, first baseman, Chris Wingrove.
What a day for Hall.
Looking for one big swing from the big man.
Whitefield heads to second base, slides in safe.
You've talked about his speed, the athleticism, the family, the multi-sport athlete and star. Applied all of that great lead, 1 foot and halfway up your body in the turf, and makes it much easier.
Oh. Wore the glove in the face. Had to get the oven mitt back on the bag. Wingrove rolls it over foul. Yeah, Whitefield, that speed, tried to qualify for the World Indoor Track and Field Championships in Europe. 5.93 seconds in a 60-yard dash indoors with spikes. Wow. Shows the speed here indoors in the Tokyo Dome. Little roller to the right side. Kovala ends the top of the 8th inning. But the Aussies score 3 and lead by 5. 6 outs left for the Czechs.
Team Australia. Things get interesting early. Alex Hall goes deep. They continue to show that prodigious power. Eric Sogard says, not that quick. Let's get my country up on the board until the 7th inning. Things open up. Wade, outstanding at bat. Just misses a home run. Gets a couple of runs in. Move on to the 8th and keep adding. Patience. Allowing the game to just be played. Slowing things down. Continues to put pressure on the Czech Republic. And here we are, 6 outs away. We're moving on for the first time.
Czech Republic with 6 outs left in their World Baseball Classic. 6 outs to show the fight, the spirit that's in the dugout next to Pavel Hadim. And the captain, Petrozima, strikes out swinging.
Let's make it 5 for Team Australia on the countdown. And McGrath has been just consistently pounding one part of that quadrant. And there it is.
Pinch hitter for the Czechs, Milan Prokop. 20-year-old. We get to taste this experience. He swings at the first pitch and grounds it to Wade.
Come off the bench, down by 5 runs, swing the bat. There's nothing wrong with that. You're going to see your best pitch early. It's about the quality strikes, early and late in counts, that David McGrath has provided for his ball club.
Big cut from Wojtek Menchik. Leadoff batter for the Czech Republic. This Czech Republic team, the mission in this World Baseball Classic. It's fouled away by Menchik. Win a game, represent for their country, build momentum to the European Championships, but inspire another wave of young baseball players in the Czech Republic. Menchik, who's 24, Pluk, who's 24. Kovala is 19. Prokop 20. Menchik with a base hit to right.
As you talk about that, Stephen, it's important to see the five, but every player or member of this team we've talked to says, you want to know about youth baseball? Ask Abel Hadim. He is involved in developing, talking to the schools, assemblies, promoting all throughout the country, but he knows all about the structure that it's going to take to keep propelling the game because he knows the youngsters.
And he is tasked with elevating the Czech program another level, building on top of what Mike Griffin, who's a longtime national team head coach, now an assistant for Hadim here at the World Baseball Classic.
Let's not forget about him.
No, you can't. Martin Cervenka said he brought in a culture of winning, and we went from a team that was 5th place in every tournament we appeared in to now burgeoning power in Europe. A bunt to George gets underneath his hand. It was a tough play for him to make, and Sogard gets aboard. Czechs trying to stir a 2-out rally.
We're talking about Griffin as we see a beautiful bunt by Sogard, looking for base runners. The foundation laid by somebody like Griffin, I mean, just plays out to adding veterans like Eric Sogard. You know, as gritty and as feisty as they are, and they really do a good job of staying loose and flashing smiles throughout the toughest times.
They're not done yet. 2 aboard, 2 down in the 8th. Dave Nilsson making a change on the mound. Six-1 Australia in the bottom of the 8th. The Czechs have 2 on, but there are 2 out. They're running out of outs, as is Team USA in Pool C against Mexico. They did score 3 times in the bottom of the 8th inning, make it 11-5. It's in the bottom of the 9th now. There is 1 on, 1 out. It's big given how the pool has played out up to this point. Colombia beat Mexico. They're 1-0. Canada 1-0. And with the tiebreaker scenario at the World Baseball Classic, not a good day for Team USA.
Freddie Freeman's Canada team.
Sam Holland, the righty, comes out of the bullpen and gets strike 1 swinging against Marek Klub.
That's a big blow against the U.S. pitching staff.
Bloop has game-changing ability. Bounces by Perkins. Both runners move up. Now in scoring position.
Yeah, for a couple of strikeouts to begin the game for Haloop, he came back and really put together a solid at bat last time out, going the other way. Fastballs down in the zone, so tough to anticipate for any catcher. Don't project a pitch like that to be sinking that much as you would a breaking ball in the dirt that you anticipate more.
Bloop, ground ball to short, into left center field. That will score 2. Don't throw dirt on him yet.
Each game that we've seen Haloop play, I mean, it doesn't matter what's happened the previous at-bats. He finds a way to at least kind of gradually tone things down a little bit more. And this swing right here is pretty much a copy of what happened last time. In a key situation, just think hard through the middle. Simple. It's like a two-strike approach right there. Exactly what they needed.
Now the veteran catcher, Chervenka. Shot to the right side. Tough play for Glendening, but he makes it. That ends the 8th inning. The Czechs get 2 to get within 3. We're on to the 9th in this decisive game. On the back of the Czech Republic media guide, put together in part by Lukáš Erkeli, one of the pitchers in this team. Says one team, one dream. It's still alive as we're in the 9th inning. They trail Australia 6-3. Got 2 in the bottom of the 8th to give them some energy and some momentum. Now Mikhail Kobala, the 19-year-old, has to keep the scoreboard here. We'll start off with Logan Wade, who broke a 1-1 tie in the 7th with a 2-run triple with 2 out. Just a clutch swing for the veteran shortstop. Koala rocks for the 3-2. Full count. Mexico did close out the United States in Pool C, so Team USA now 1-1, as is Mexico, as Wade opens the 9th with a walk.
The next batter, catcher.
You know, that game was started by Nick Martinez. He took some of the brunt along with Brady Singer, but Martinez actually did replace Clayton Kershaw on that roster in late February. Offense made a push, as you said, Steven, but Mexico and Meneses too much.
Perkins fouls it back. I mean, 15 hits for Mexico against that U.S. staff.
I still recall that raucous atmosphere at Dodger Stadium, Mexico, USA, back in 2006.
Perkins Pokes it into center, down for a base hit. First two on for Australia.
This point is, they know they're 3 outs away, but they know what's on the other side. And you have a youngster on the mound who cannot afford to go out there and start walking guys and take your veteran approach, knowing you're going to see strikes and put your best swing on it.
Khadim will take the ball from the 19-year-old. They have to get out of this jam. 2 on, nobody out. We're back in the top of the 9th inning. Australia and the Czech Republic wrapping up their play in Pool B at the 2023 World Baseball Classic. For anybody just hopping over to watch this game, the situation is this: Australia wins and it goes to the quarterfinals. The Czechs, if they win, they stay alive pending the result later against Korea and China. Japan already set to face Italy on the 16th here in the Tokyo Dome for one quarterfinal. Cuba awaiting their opponent. Czechs scored twice in the bottom of the 8th to climb within 3. But Australia has responded, putting the first 2 on. Nobody out. Pinch hitter Andrew Campbell will dig in, searching for his first hit of this World Baseball Classic. Take the place of Boyarsky, who was 0 for 1 with 2 walks and 1 run scored. The 31-year-old now faces Jan Tomek. The Czech bullpen, bunt laid down the first base line. Mujic bobbled it, but Sogard, the veteran backing him up at first, receives the flip.
Nice recovery there by Mujic on the juggle, and then having to change the way he was going to flip that ball over. Ball stays fair for a long time. Very nice job in finding a lane to throw to. Intense, done, sacrifice, and runners continue to move.
Back to the top for Australia. Tim Kennelly swings at the first pitch. Little flare into left field. It will drop and score a run. The lead back to 4 for the Aussies.
Leave it up again to one of your best contact hitters. Gets jammed, broken bats. Oh, that does not matter at all. Anytime you have the infield playing an advantage when anything hit that softly and that short.
That gives way. The man who was all of a sudden the hottest hitter. He was the coldest hitter in the lineup, the DH, Alex Hall, reigning MVP in the ABL, but ground ball. Mujic steps on the bag at first, cannot come home. Another run scores, and Australia has gotten the 2 runs right back.
They had just found a way, going back to the 7th inning. Any offensive situation, landscape that has presented itself, they have executed to perfection. Contact, power, good at bats, small ball, base running, all fitting.
Crunch time, clutch time, last 3 innings, they have put up crooked numbers. 1 ball, 2 strikes after the foul ball. Johnny Kennedy, a left-hander, getting ready for Dave Nilsson. Down in the dirt. 3-2. Glenn Denning, a Royals prospect that you have to be careful with. And you can see pitchers respect what they've seen so far in Pool B.
And I believe in the Royals depth chart, he has moved up by the way he's played here.
Just with the bat, but in the field at second base. Stares in for Tomex. 3-2. Kennelly on second. Ground ball, fair. Kubica makes the play at third base and the throw. So the last chance for the Czechs. On to the bottom of the 9th. It's back to a 5-run game. Hello, Dave Nilsson. Nice little wave and a thumbs up. There's Australia up 8-3 and 3 outs away from advancing to the quarterfinals at the World Baseball Classic. That was on the line for the Aussies today. Win and get in. Andrew Campbell will stay in the game in left field. John Kennedy will enter out of the bullpen. 5, 6, and 7 for Pavel Hadin in the Czech order. Menchik to lead off. Mujic on deck. Do the Czechs have any more magic in their bats? High fly ball to right field. This one, mechanic horn for Kennelly. 1 down. Dave Nilsson in 1999 was the first Aussie to make a Major League All-Star game. The Milwaukee Brewers that year, he hit .309 with a .954 OPS, 21 home runs, 62 ribbies. That was his free agent walk year. You think, okay, there's a big payday coming his way. Instead, he walked away from that so he could represent his country in the 2000 Olympics. Mujic doesn't want him celebrating yet as he lines a base hit in the left.
Good example right there at Nilsson after we watch this nice line drive by Mujic. But Steven, it's about, don't tell me who you are, show me who you are. I think we all know who Dave Nilsson is and what he represents to Australia.
Jakob Greppel pinch hitting. Takes ball 1. It wasn't just that he left to play in the Olympics. He then put his own money towards saving the APL, preserving professional baseball for a time there in Australia. That's why you ask any Aussie who the guy in this sport is in their country, it's him. It's fouled back by Greppel, 2-1. So played here in Japan for the Chunichi Dragons in 2000. Back in a country he loves so much.
Now, when I played against Nilsson in the minors, he always had this perspective of, yeah, I mean, I get to play baseball, but, you know, this is not life. There's way more than this. Same demeanor today.
It's a 1-out walk, 2 on.
The next batter, number 2,
Jakob Heitmar will pinch hit for Jima in the 8th spot.
Stephen, because these great stories don't end. This hitter does clinics for young guys, young kids, to introduce them to the game. And he says, I love it. And he is a sales representative. But he says, spending time with those kids and teaching them the game is so valuable to me.
By being here and doing what the Czech Republic has done, they are selling the game of baseball to the next generation.
And as you mentioned before, he says getting equipment to those kids is becoming harder and harder. Well, somehow now it should be getting easier and easier.
Good pitch from Kennedy. Took something off that. 1-2. Warwick Soppold, someone with Major League Baseball experience. Will get loose for Dave Nilsson just in case Kennedy needs some help to get out of this 9th inning. Heitmar dumps it into center. That loads the bases for the Czech Republic here in the 9th inning.
We knew they're going to be playing up to the last breath they had here. Last out, last at bat. They just do not go away that easily, and it's just admirable.
Strike one to Kubica. Pavel Hadim pacing in the Czech dugout. Aussie baseball fans pacing everywhere they're watching. Bases loaded and 1 out. Kennedy's pitch to Kubica. There's strike 2. Kubica stays alive.
You heard the chant? Pretty much like the Japanese player chant.
Czech fan club has been awesome in the Tokyo Dome. First time in a World Baseball Classic. They're hoping it's not the last. 0-2 pitch, grounded to short. Wade to Glendening. Glendening to first. They've done it! Aussie history! They advance to the quarterfinals for the first time ever.
From the very first time we had a chance to talk to that leader, David Nilsson, he expressed to us the confidence that he had and the fact that he truly felt like this was the group to get them to the next round. And there it is. Well-deserved, well-represented against a tough opponent. Just so much respect as one celebrates on the Australian side with a huge victory, moving on here past this pool. On the other side, total respect. One manager to the other, Pavel Hadim, and then this.
That one team and the one dream, despite this loss, it's still alive. They now need Korea to beat China to ensure a spot in the 2026 World Baseball Classic. But what a showing for the Czech Republic. And the Aussies led by Dave Nilsson. That little beauty will join Japan in the next round. So Australia and Cuba, Japan and Italy, the quarterfinals that will take place on the 15th and 16th respectively. There is still much to be decided in the nightcap, Korea and China. Korea has to win to avoid potential relegation. Could you believe it? And China trying to get a victory and perhaps qualify. So again, now the quarterfinal set, Jose.
It's set in a way in which we just tip our hats ourselves to the support that we've seen from the fans all over Tokyo for every one of these ball clubs. And for Team Australia, again, resilient team, powerful team, flair for the dramatic, well-balanced power, but mainly they knew and showed that they can play the game the right way.
Daryl George said, we're not a Cinderella team. We're a really good team. And people have been sleeping on us our entire pro careers. Well, this Australian group has woken folks up by punching a ticket to the quarterfinals for the first time in their nation's history. Led by their nation's hero, Dave Nilsson, the Aussies hold off the Czechs and win. We're not yet done with Pool B. Again, Korea and China at 7 p.m. local. A look back on a really fun baseball game in the Tokyo Dome. Come back to finish off Pool B later. For Jose Mota and our crew, I'm Steven Nelson. Thanks for watching. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! For Liam.